Victor Baker, you're the first one on the house. Welcome. Sandman, how you doing? Uh, Kennedy, Pacific, Reckless. Thanks for joining in tonight, man. It's another great Monday night. Did I say great Monday night? Wow, you guys are rolling in. Cyberlink, Rob Bird, Ernie Medina. Damn. What's going on tonight, guys? Get this intro going. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Jackie, Urban Michael. Oh, man. You got everybody in the house on this Monday night. Yeah, I know. I threw some Eagle cheerleaders in there. How's everybody doing? It's almost finished. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for turning in. You could be anywhere on this Monday night, but you guys choose to be here, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys and girls. Man, the Dallas Cowboys are in training camp with the whole team, and I'm as excited as I can be. And there's so much to get to, but before I get too far along, I want to thank everybody who's already checked out the new website, and that's it right there, CowboyJobu.com. You guys know I'm old, and I'm technology challenged, but I literally spent all day Saturday figuring and teaching myself how to make a website. I got it up. We've got the shot glasses on there. We're selling them as singles, and we're selling them as a 4-pack. Right now, they're 2 tones. They'll be actually in here next week, and I'll be having them go out the door. And so far, the response has been incredible. So if you guys want one, it's real easy. Go to CowboyJobu.com. And when you're going through the whole thing, I'm going to start doing some more posts and stuff on there. I may even get back to blogging. When you get past the link for Facebook, you'll see the price tag for the shot glasses for singles and the 4. Now, if you are an international, oh man, Billy. Damn, Billy, you guys starting already? And you order a shot glass? Thank you, Billy, man, for the support. Yeah, I can't believe how many have already been ordered. I'm actually going to have to, originally ordered 140. I'm going to have to actually up their order tomorrow because they're actually just flying out. But what's going to be really cool about this is when I say that Jobu needs a refill like he does right now, I can turn around and say we all need a refill and we can all be drinking in a Jobu shot glass because, you know, watching the Cowboys will make you drink. So you got a lot to get to tonight. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of great things with the website. And Billy, thank you for donating to the Jobu mobile man cave. That is going to happen. And we are definitely going to have a ball during the season. Like I said, I'm as excited as can be. Some of the first news that I got out of camp is Ryan Switzer is pretty damn good so far. Now, again, it's only minicamp, and it's only, you know, shirts and T-shirts and stuff. They're not out there tackling and stuff. However, sometimes you can see a guy and just know they got it. And the way he's moving in crowd and space and stuff like that, and full speed, boom, being able to catch the ball and reach back, from what I'm hearing, he is looking really, really good. So I'm really hyped on that. And it's looking like we're probably going to be having 2 rookies starting in a defensive backfield. Jordan Lewis, let me get to him first. You know, I've got a day job, which keeps me really, really busy. And of course, yesterday was Mother's Day, and it's busy as could be yesterday. So it's not a whole lot of time always to do stuff. And when I do these videos, it's just basically off the cuff. I've got something I've been thinking about, and I just share it. It's like one take, and I'm done. I wish I had more time where I could really sit down and make sure I script the stuff. But then again, I might not be good at script because the way I butcher up names, I'd probably butcher up a script. But anyway, back to Jordan Lewis. It really and truly bothers me because I know there's a pending case, Jordan Lewis, of potential domestic violence. Okay? I get that. I've always said to you guys, when it's 2 people involved, there's no witnesses, it's just these 2 people. There's his side and there's her side. And somewhere in the middle lies the truth. Now, we weren't there. We don't know what was there. We can only go by the situation, what we've seen. She claims that she was drugged around the living room and everything else by him, yet there's no marks, there's no scars. He said that he was home, the lights were on, 1 o'clock, she came home, they had an argument about who pays the bills. He said he went to the closet and started getting dressed and getting ready to leave. She says she worried about him hurting himself, so she tried to get in there. He tried to leave, and she tried to block him. So he said, "Look, I'm leaving. I'm going." Okay, that's what he says. She said he pushed me around, drugged me through the living room, and then he left. Okay, so that's the case that's going on. Now, again, I'm not defending domestic violence at all. I'm not saying he's innocent or he's guilty. I'm just going by the facts. We'll see what the courts decide in July. So now the big thing is people are digging into everything about him. And supposedly, a couple years before, we had an instance where she called the police as well. Although no charges were brought up, nothing was found. But the way it's been portrayed with the gotcha, it's posting all over there. You know, the Dallas Cowboys make a mistake and draft basically another Greg Hardy. And it's kind of like, wait a minute, hold up. He's not been convicted of anything. We're looking into a case with the same person who supposedly said there was domestic violence, but yet was still with him for 2 more years. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I know that we had the same kind of thing going on with Zeke Elliott with the police that found absolutely nothing, but the NFL basically kept a case that's still, I believe, open a year later. To me, what you rookies have to understand, from this moment forward, you got fame, you got fortune, you're an NFL player. You now have a target on your back. What that target says is, I'm rich, bitch. I'm famous. Excuse me, I didn't mean to call him that bitch. I was using a Dave Chappelle reference. And people see that, and they want a piece of it. Chase after you. They're going to want to get some of that fame, either being your girlfriend or having you be the baby daddy. Even some guys might throw some boxers at you. You know, it's a new world these days. You're going to have guys that see you in the club and think, you know what? If I punk him, maybe he'll hit me and I'll get paid. You're going to have people following you from the press and all that are going to go ahead and try and catch you doing something that they can report on with the gotcha moment so they can get clicks. And in some cases, like Ian Rappaport, they don't find anything, they'll just make some shit up. Like the Des Bryant tape. So from this moment forward, you got to understand that people are going to try and get your cash and your fame. You're going to have old friends that are going to want to hang around and go to the clubs and make it rain. Okay? You just got to get out the limelight and learn to say no. Because you're going to have family coming out the woodwork that's going to want you to pay their bills, buy them a new ride, you know, and treat you like, you know what I mean? So I wasn't there. Not condoning domestic violence. But I'm just kind of saying, when we start looking at the picture of what's been going on, Carlos C., thank you, my man. Damn. We are rolling in the jar tonight. Thank you, Carlos. Take a shot of rum. Let's see, it's very bad to steal Jobu's rum. And I definitely will take one before the night's over with, but do it here. And you got to be careful. So from what the Cowboys supposedly have looked at, they don't see anything, and they figure that that's going to be a wash. But here it is. Lewis is getting all this. But you have guys who have film out there where they're basically hitting a woman and breaking her jaw. We don't hear nothing about that. We have people that have been convicted of domestic violence. We don't hear nothing about that. We always heard about Zeke Elliott and the allegations, but again, I guess that's just about being a Dallas Cowboy player. So let me get to some of your questions before I get to the next thing. How about them Cowboys? I do not like the idea of trading your number one wide receiver who has potential. No. Well, see, here's the thing. It's interesting. We're talking about Dez Bryant. And you remember in the beginning of the season last year, you had guys like Skip Bayless, who I'm not a fan of because everybody keeps telling me, check out, I can't even think of the name of the damn show because I hate it that much. Because I can't deal with Skip, Mr. Ed. But you remember they were talking about Dez Bryant being a cancer to the team and Dez Bryant should be traded. Now, hold up for 1 second. Yeah, I know he was injured in 2015. I know he hurt his foot in the beginning of the year. I know he only had 50 catches. But here's the thing about Dez Bryant in the beginning of the season. You'll remember this time last year, where was Dak Prescott? I'll wait. Where was he? He was a fourth-string quarterback. Do you think Dez Bryant and Dak Prescott worked together in OTAs? Minicamp? Yeah, they took showers and they made him a safety. Okay, so we moved up to third string. All right. How much work do you think Dez Bryant and he worked together? Because here's what you got to understand with football. Because of the collective bargaining agreement, they cut down on the amount of practices. You only have X number of days for mini camps, which I think a total of 12. Your training camp is a morning walkthrough and then a practice in the afternoon. During the season, you're only allowed to have 11 padded practices that have to be out of the way by week 11. So when you start looking at all that, Dez Bryant and him didn't work together. When Kelvin Moore went down, okay, yeah, they got a couple practices in. But still, he's still the backup quarterback. Dez Bryant didn't play much as far as preseason. Then Tony Romo goes down. Got a couple of practices in, but they're very few. If you look at Dez Bryant's numbers for the season, he ended up averaging 15.9 yards. But if you take the last 9 games after he got injured, he was averaging almost 17 yards a carry. A completion. 17 yards. He had 7 touchdown passes in those 9 games. So when you take those 9 games, not the whole season, take those 9 games when he was healthy, when him and Dak had finally started working together and getting a repertoire, all of a sudden, Dez's numbers started going up. And look what he did with Green Bay. 2 touchdown catches, I believe. So you're going to look at this situation because right now, Dak is healthy, unlike Tony Romo would be, and Dez is healthy. So guess what they're doing today? Dak and Dez, D&D. And you're going to see that combination is going to become a beast. Watch and mark my words. I'm telling you, that is going to be something special. So as far as talking about trading him, you can't. You don't have a number one on your team. Cole Beasley is a slot guy. Terrence Williams is a great complementary player. He's not a number one. If you look at Alvin Harper with Michael Irvin, Harper was deadly. Deadly. But when he went to Tampa Bay and Washington and had to be the guy, couldn't do it. And that's Terrence Williams. He needs that number one guy to take the focus away, get that one-on-one coverage. He's good to go. So, no, you can't trade this. Sorry, I went that explanation. I saw a fantastic interview with him, and I got to tell you, I love him. The guy is well-spoken. He's humble, but his focus is getting to the quarterback. And I look for Taco Sundays to be a big thing in Dallas. Jeffrey Wilson, Colston Davis. Jackie, how are you doing tonight? Double tap, nice join us. Jay Goldstein, Miles Garrett, that's the name, Tacos. Same measure. And that's the thing that people seem to lose, that Garrett and him basically had the same numbers. But for whatever reason, Sergio, thank you, man. How about the Cowboys? Now, look, if you guys are going to do a super chat, and I appreciate it because the money I'm making from the shot glasses and the money I get from the super chats are all going into the kitty right here, and I'm going to be doing some special stuff for us for the season. In past years, I bought, and if you go to AT&T Stadium, the Tom Landry section, there's a stone in there, right smack in the middle, that says CowboyJobu, dedicated to all those fans, to all those fans. That's our stone, not mine. That's our stone. So be proud when you go to AT&T Stadium. Go check it out, take a picture with it, and everything else, so you can help spread the mojo. But if you do a super chat, be sure to ask a question, so that way I'll make sure to answer it on air for you. And I appreciate everybody who's done that and supported the show. It's been fantastic how this thing's grown. Oh, and one more shout out. I don't know if he's on here tonight. I finally saw Chuck Baby. I don't know if you guys know Chuck Baby who's on here. Chuck Baby's been one of those loyal listeners that have been here. He had neck surgery last Wednesday, and he's doing good. So a speedy recovery wish to you, Chuck Baby, man. Glad everything worked out good. Hope you can turn the neck okay. Boy, these are going through so fast. It's hard to get to. Well, yeah, Garrett. Garrett. I'm not worried about Garrett. You know, he's up in Siberia with Cleveland Browns, and I got to tell you, I feel bad for him. Finally, it started streaming, but okay. Well, I agree with you. Switzer will probably take lucky spot, but I got to tell you what I really, really like about the Cowboys team right now is guys are hungry, and they've created competition pretty much throughout the field. Everywhere you go, you got guys who are going to be battling to get a position. So you got Switzer, the young guy, who's looking really good, who had tied the record for punt returns in a season of 5 his rookie year, who is looking to be the guy for kick return. And you got Lucky Whitehead, who got in the doghouse, but you've seen him working out in the offseason where he's hungry and wanting to come back. You have a guy like Terrence Williams, who, in the grand scheme of things, took peanuts to come back to Dallas, as opposed to what he could have gotten on the free agent market. He could have got $7-8 million a year, but he took four point something to stay here in Dallas because he feels like he's at unfinished business. You got Collins moving out to tackle. So guys like Chaz Green are basically put on notice that, hey, we love you and all that. You got all kinds of potential, but you got to show us something if you want to get out on that field and represent the Dallas Cowboys. You got now 10 defensive linemen. We were looking like, are we going to even have some warm bodies to go? They're going to be battling out. You got Topper, who's got a lot to prove because he was out last year. You got David Irving, who is on basically a peanut salary, who wants to get a full contract, who's going to be playing balls to the wall so that way he can get paid. You've got Tyrone Crawford, who's now on notice that they drafted some young guys out there. I'm expendable, so I better show up ready to go. You got DeMarcus Lawrence, the same deal. Damn, I'm coming off of back surgery, but I can be expendable as well. I might not get that big payday after this contract is up with the Cowboys, so I better come correct. Collins that's in there. All of a sudden, you got 10 guys battling out for 8 spots. You don't think those guys are going to be hungry to be a part of this Dallas Cowboys game? You don't think that they don't want to come back after having a 13-win season because they've got unfinished business? They're tired of hearing that one-and-done playoff thing. These guys are focused on trying to get a Super Bowl victory. So that's where I'm excited. Even in our defensive backfield, you draft the backs. You got guys like Skandrick who heard that they were thinking about trading me. You don't think he's coming back ready to play? If he's not going to be playing for the Cowboys, to be auditioning for somebody else? You got Byron Jones, who's quiet, who needs to become a leader. You got Anthony Brown, who came in as a rookie and all of a sudden played really well, and he's looking at, they just drafted 3 other guys. How you doing, Janie? David, nice to see you. Sergeant Pete, Sarah, great to see you. Jay. So you got those guys that are all battling. And those battles, as opposed to guys that know, hey, I got a spot. I don't have to work hard in training camp. I'm a vet. I'm the big money guy. I'll show up for games. No. You want guys that are hungry, that are fighting tooth and nails to get a position. Now, with the rookie OTAs, they had practice on Friday, they had practice on Saturday. They didn't do team drills against each other. and Sunday was a walkthrough. And what the Cowboys did this year, which is kind of different than what most teams will do, is instead of doing offense against defense and trying to throw a whole lot to them at first, they kind of brought them out kind of slowly to get them used to being out here. Because when you think about what the rookies have had to do, they finished their college season, and then they started training for the combine. Did the combine, then they're going flying all across the country doing different workouts and stuff like that. And they're doing the Wonderlink test and everything else. Then they go through the draft just 2 weeks ago, and now they're boom, smack dab in a team. They really haven't had a chance to even catch their breath. So the Cowboys are just kind of saying, you know what? Let's just pump the brakes just a little bit. Let you guys ease into this. And then come Monday, we'll get the veterans in here. Then we'll start rocking and rolling. Now, some of those guys that were looking great in rookie minicamp all of a sudden look a little bit lost now that you got the veterans out there that know the offense, the defense, and things like that. So there's a learning curve. I like what they've done on that. The other thing I touched on yesterday on another video is Des Bryant, who his rookie year, there was a whole lot of flack because when Des had a little bit of an attitude when it came to Roy Williams saying, carry my shoulder pads, Des basically said, I ain't carrying your goddamn bag. You carry that stuff. I'm not here for that. I'm here to play football. Sandman, name the top 5 quarterbacks with the Cowboys quarterbacks all time. Oh, okay, that's easy. Start with Roger Staubach because he will forever be my favorite. Then I'll have to go with Troy Aikman. Then I'll actually have to go with Dandy Don. Then I'll have to go with Tony Romo. And then I'll have to go with Randy White. So that would be my top 5 Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks of all time. And I've seen all of them play. So, yeah, I'm that old. Well, David, I tell you what, I would love to see Jumpy Gathers get 5 TDs. And that's one of those guys that they're putting a lot of hope on. And I'm hoping that Gathers will be the guy. We've looked at so many guys that had promise being drafted as tight ends to replace Jason Witten, and just can't seem to find one. That's the one position that we haven't had much luck and success at getting. And I'm praying that he's the guy, because if we can get that guy to replace Jason Witten, you look at the age of this offense. This offense is going to be together for years. You know, they're going to be working on Zach Martin's contract, and they have to lock that guy down. You know, 3 years in the NFL and 3 Pro Bowls, okay, and 1 All-Pro. You can't do better than that coming out of college. You know, the Cowboys struck gold with that offensive line. And if Collins does what I think he's going to do, I think we could have 4 Pro Bowlers in 1 Pro Bowl from that offensive line. But that's me. What do I know? I'm a guy with a voodoo doll and a day job. Let's get out some more of your questions here. Yeah, that's a big if on Swan. If Swan stays healthy, it's just he has not been able to. He always ends up having some kind of freak little injuries. And for whatever reason, you have some guys that are just that way, that no matter what they do, they have an injury left and right. Morris Claiborne was one of those guys who would end up having freak injuries. I mean, how the hell do you rip a bone? And he literally had a bone pull off of his leg. I mean, from his groin. I just don't even want to think about that. That hurts so bad. Oxnard, yes. We're working on definitely trying to be at Oxnard. In fact, there was a meeting tonight about me doing some coverage there for somebody. So we'll see how that goes. But definitely between the kitty here and the shot glasses and stuff, I'm going to be doing a lot more events this year than I did last year. Definitely going to be going to more games. I'll probably go to the Giants game in New York. I'll definitely be at the Redskin Dallas game here. I'm thinking about going to Philly. Now that I've got a few Philly friends up in Philadelphia, and definitely going to go to a couple games in Dallas. So the Jobu Sports Report will be mobile all over the place. Well, Sandman, I agree with you. He's almost like Collins is almost like a throwback, and like you're right. He's like a guy from the '90s, kind of like a Larry Allen type. Although, if you look at his build right now, he's actually lost a little bit of that baby fat. He is definitely toned up, and he could move before. And with him being toned up, he may be scary when he gets out there. I'm sorry, there's something there about. I got 2 mouses here. It's kind of interesting. the way this is set up, because you guys know I'm technology challenged. I actually have 2 webcams. I have 2 computers that I have. So I've got a keyboard right here for the camera and the computer that's in front of me, and then I have this one that controls that, and I also Skype in with the Banana Show. How you doing, Alan? Nice to see you tonight. Albert, somebody had said something. Should Drew Pearson be in the Hall of Fame? It's a different era, and when you look at the problem is you didn't have the highlights like you did. You didn't have ESPN and all that stuff. You didn't have YouTube. Drew Pearson did some amazing things growing up, and I think he should belong in the Hall of Fame. When you think about, I tell you what, go back through and watch some vintage film of football. It was almost a different game. When you look at what the defensive backs were able to do to you, take a look at Lester Hayes from the Raiders and Mike Haynes. The receivers literally got beat to hell going down the field. There was no, unnecessary contact. There was no pushing. I mean, they just literally just beat the hell out of you. You're getting a forearm to the face. You're getting headshots left and right. I mean, when you caught that ball, your ass is getting punished. You haven't seen anything till you look at football from back in the day. Here we have the quarterback, if you look at him, that you're going to go ahead and get punished. No, The quarterback was getting laid the F out on every play. So when you look at that era being different, and you look at how he dominated with the Cowboys and getting that ring and stuff, yeah, I could see him being in the Hall of Fame. I could also see where some people say, well, the numbers aren't quite there. But I think he should be in there. But, of course, I'm biased because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. But he's a great guy, was an incredible player, and I'm very proud of him. I agree with him on that. The thing that the one thing that the Cowboys do that I think can be bad is they did it with Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory came here and all of a sudden, we're going to give you 94. Knowing that 94 was already DeMarcus Ware's, and before that, Hall of Famer Charles Haley. You're putting all kinds of expectation on the guy, and you're giving him props when he hasn't busted a grape in the NFL. I think they need to earn that. You don't call a guy the next Charles Haley until actually he does something on the field. Because that was pretty much a disappointment when you look at that. Now, they did the same thing with Dez. Dez has been really good. And if he can get a ring, then he'll be up there with the other 88s. But he needs to get that ring. MB Gaming, can I get a comment for my birthday? No, MB Gaming, you can't get a comment for your birthday. No. Happy birthday, man. 5 TDs, you crazy? Okay. Is that about gathers? Hey, you never know. It's funny because a lot of times you'll get players on the team and you'll say, oh, he's a nobody. He's a bum. You need a guy who's already done that. Well, you know what? Those guys hadn't done it until they did. How about them Cowboys? I tell you what. Thank you, Cowboys. So you got to understand that you're a nobody until you're a somebody. So relax. You don't know what guy might be the next Charles Haley. You don't know what guy might be the next Tony Romo. Because sometimes guys look fantastic in college like Brian Bosworth. Then they get to the NFL and they look pretty bad. You can have guys like Jared Goff. Size, the build, the arm, and the resume to be a great quarterback. But somehow, a guy who they said is Tim Tebow 2.0 with a slightly better arm gets drafted in the 4th round and starts busting rookie records. So don't say it's impossible, because you never know. Bob Bullet Hayes was a track star when there weren't any track stars playing in the NFL. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame right now. So give the guys a chance. You brought guys in that you might not think a whole lot of. Give them time to see what they actually have before you say they're a bust or a bum. That would be my advice, because you just don't know. Um, well, 4th Street, I agree with you. Zeke, here's the thing. I believe when you think of what everybody's saying about the Cowboys, that, the book is out on Dak Prescott and everything else. They've, lost offensive linemen and so on. And Dez is getting old. Jason Witten's getting old. And, teams are going to have them figured out. And, of course, they've got a tougher schedule, which is all true. But, see, I look at it a little bit differently because I say the Dallas Cowboys probably didn't really start opening up the book because Dak was a rookie and wasn't the rookie top draft pick that you started training from day one to be the starter. He got thrown into that gradually. So as the team started going, and you'll look at his numbers, you'll see from that first Giant game, by the time we got to Green Bay, it wasn't that Dak did this like Carson Wentz. Dak steadily just went just like this. Just like this. The whole season long. He was consistent like nobody else other than Tom Brady. So when you start saying that he's going to take a step back and the teams have the book on him, yeah, well, guess what? They're going to be opening up a few more chapters. They're going to be writing a little bit more. And now that Dez is healthy and working with him, you're going to see that offense stretch the field more. You're going to see Zeke, who just was naturally gifted and could just hit those holes. You're going to see a lot more different things. Give me an example. One of the things that I absolutely positively loved when I started watching the film with Dak in college was the naked bootleg. And if you don't know what naked bootleg is, what it is when you've got your running back who's running like Zeke is, you got 8 men in the box that are literally trying to get to wherever he's going to be. So you have all of the flow. All the offensive linemen are blocking to the left. You got Zeke getting faked handoff going to the left. And you take Dak and you roll him the opposite way, that misdirection. Because everybody's focusing in on Zeke. I'm trying to get to this point, and oh shit, there goes the quarterback that way. Now you're trying to cut back across the grain with all the offensive linemen, all this flow going here. You can't get there. And Dak is good enough that he can throw across the grain and hit the open man with that one-on-one coverage. Now, what's going to happen this year? Now that Dez is healthy, you're going to have him going on a go route deep, okay? And Dak has got the arm that, boom, will roll out, and I'm going deep one-on-one coverage to Dez Bryant, and you're going to see 50-yard touchdown. I guarantee it. Mark my words. You will see Dez Bryant and Dak being a combination like nobody else's. Okay? So that's what I feel real good at, and it's 9:33. Got about 13 minutes before I go on to the Benet Emery show. The thing I feel bad about, what we got stuff that's just rolling through here. Big fan of Mr. Thank you, Wonderment 3. I don't have my glasses on tonight, and I'm having a little, and I didn't blow up the screen as much as I should have. So it's a little bit on the small on the tape. But let me see, where is the plus sign? I don't see it. Oh, well, we'll have to deal with that next time. I hope that Dez Bryant has a monster season because I'm just tired of people being down on Dez and everything else. I think Shinobi. Oh yeah, that was my other thought. I get talking about stuff and I get excited at things and lose my focus. But I think Shinobi is definitely going to be another starter. I think both of those guys are going to be starters, and I'm okay with that because when I hear the talking heads talking about they lost, a number 1 draft pick in Morris Claiborne. It's like Morris Claiborne, shit. He missed like 33 games in his career. I think he had all of about 140 tackles and 1 interception, 2 interceptions. It's not like he gave you a whole heck of a lot, and he only played in 7 games last year. You're saying we're going to miss that guy? The guy who came back for the playoff game and literally got a 15-yard penalty to the face that gave him a first down and got burnt and then got hurt? We can't make it without that guy? Are you kidding me? And Brandon Carr is getting a little bit old. Brandon Carr was steady, but Brandon Carr, was never going to be the guy that we paid him to be, a lockdown corner for that $55 million. Great guy, gave back in the community and everything else. I wish him well. But you can't say that we're going to do worse. Do you honestly feel that we're going to do worse? I don't. I think our defense is going to be better. I think if the guys on that defensive line, to me, are key to everything. If they can get pressure, something we haven't had in forever, that defense will be 100 times better. Guarantee it. If we can't get pressure like we couldn't against Green Bay, then it's over. And here, I'll give you the perfect example where it's really easy to measure it. I'll go back through because I've got all the games on tape. The Green Bay game during the season, where David Irving basically said, "Hello, world. I'm going to be a force." You will see Aaron Rodgers under pressure all day long, not able to do jack because they got pressure on him. Same defensive backfield, same linebackers, but they got pressure on him. They kicked the crap out. Well, in the playoffs, we got nothing. We got no pressure on them in that first half. They couldn't bust a grape. And what did Aaron Rodgers do? Ate them alive. Pressure is the difference in defense. You've got to make that quarterback uncomfortable. You've got to force him to throw before the receivers are done with their routes. And you can't let your defensive backs have to cover a guy for 6, 7, 8 seconds. I don't care if it's Deion Sanders in his prime. He's not going to stop a receiver for 8 seconds. It's just not going to happen. What's up, Weapon X? Curtis Balger, the defense will be fresh. Having young legs just alone, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to get burned sometimes. But I'd rather have a guy who's able to go full speed make a mistake than a guy who's old and slow getting burnt. Definitely more athletic. And the best coach and executive right now, you know how much it hurts me to talk about New England, but New England has got the best coach. Because year after year after year after year, they're always good. And it doesn't matter who they lose. They're still good. Even in times when they lost Tom Brady, Matt Castle, yeah, that guy, he took him to the playoffs. You didn't have Tom Brady for the first 4 games. They still won 3 of them with guys who had never had a start before. So, yeah, you got to look at Bill Belichick because he always has that team in positions to win. Not always has a whole lot of Pro Bowl players, but he has them ready to play. He comes up with some new crazy shit that you're not expecting, and he puts it on you. So, yeah, I got to say Bill Belichick. Right now, I got to say scouting department-wise, I think we got the best one in Will McClay. Because if you look at the talent that the Dallas Cowboys have been able to get in the first round since he has been the head of the scouting department, there's nobody that's any better. Now, Executive of the Year, I will say GM will be Baltimore Ravens. Oh, God. Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome always has the Baltimore Ravens competitive without having a whole lot of cash to spend. They are always consistent. They're always good at getting players and keeping the right people. Another one, of course, you got to look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's another team that's always consistent and always good. So those would be my favorites as far as coaching and executives. Although I got to give some props to Jerry Jones as well, because Jerry, I think, the 2009 draft was a complete disaster. Had, I believe, 11 picks, 12 picks. And within 4 years, almost every one of those guys were out of football. You didn't have one of those guys make an impact on the team. And I dare say part of the reason why we were 8-8 was because of our poor drafting. We kept having to go back through and try and sign all these free agents to fill the holes because we weren't making them up in the draft. When Jerry Jones decided, I'm going to turn that scouting department over to Will McClay, all of a sudden you start seeing us focus on substance instead of sizzle. You know, everybody talked about, oh, Jerry Jones wants that Johnny Manziel, you know. Show me the money. Yeah, that's going to sell some tickets. Everybody knew. Everybody even, they said Jerry Jones was going to trade up to get him. What did the Cowboys do? We're going to go for a line. It's not sexy. It's not the hot pick. It's not the big game day trade that everybody likes to see on TV. But when you start bringing in a good offensive line to protect your quarterback and give him time to open holes for the running back, that's substance. Johnny Manziel was sizzle, or should I say more like a Roman candle, because that sucker just shot and burned the heck out. That's where you see this team turn around. Jeffrey, thank you, my man. Uh-oh, another shout out. Getting closer and closer. Jobu shot glasses, yes. The Jobu shot glasses that want to get some. I have the website up now. It's CowboyJobu. And anything you want, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, website, everything is all CowboyJobu. So if you see CowboyJobu and you don't see my face or Jobu on it, they're an imposter, because I've got all of those locked down. So if you want one of those shot glasses, and I think I've sold about 45 or 50 of them already at last check, go ahead and go to the site. Below the Facebook link, you'll see the price tag for them, $7.99 for the single, and I think it's $24 for a set of 4. And the money's going to go back to Matt. Thank you, man. Hey, guys, when you do a super chat, be sure to ask a question, so that way I can be sure to answer your question. You know, I don't care what it is. You can ask me something personal if you like. You know, how old am I? How long did I play football? You know, how many times I've been married? How many kids? Whatever it is. Feel free to ask me anything you want when you do a super chat. Please do that. Snapchat. I did have a Snapchat, but I forgot my code. My password, and I need to redo it. And I'm old, man. It's hard for me to keep up with this. And besides, Snapchat's not for old people like me. Okay, Snapchat is not that. It's hard. But anyway, we might go ahead and do that as well. Which Cowboy rookie from the draft do you think will become a Pro Bowl player? I think Taco will. Taco will, because of being a defensive lineman is a lot easier than becoming a cornerback. Cornerbacks, it's difficult to go ahead and learn all that technology, and you're on that island. Defensive line, if David Irving can do what he began to do last year, where he is literally taking over games with that shock move, rocking the offensive line back, you're going to start seeing the running back having to stay in the backfield and help out with that pass rush on that side. If that happens, then you're looking at him on the other side getting more one-on-one coverage. And if Rod Martinelli can start taking that raw talent of his and that quick first step and start teaching him some moves, you could see him making some really, really good plays. Now, I know it's difficult. Most defensive linemen don't make a name for themselves their first year, but there are rare times that you see them make an impact. And I'm hoping and praying that this is the one. Yeah, well, as much as I hate New England, I agree with you, but you have to give him props or props. Carlos, damn, you got to take all my money tonight. Carlos, thank you. Paper or plastic? Personally, I try to use neither as far as paper or plastic, because what I always say is try and save a plastic tree if you can. I'll usually actually try and take in actually one of the reusable bags if at all possible. Or I'll just carry the stuff out, because there's nothing worse than the plastic bags when I go to Home Depot, put stuff on the back of the truck, and the plastic bag goes flying off and ends up in the sewer and eventually out to the ocean, and some poor animal gets killed because of it. Mr. Biebermore, the Jobu Sports Report, that's what's up. Better than Gronk. Who's better than Gronk? Gronk's problem is one, he parties too much. Two, he can't stay healthy. Oh, shit. Actually, thank you, Sandman, because I'm about to mess up here. I almost forgot that I have the Benet Emery show here, and I need to clock in. Thank you, Sandman. I'm going to have to send you a shot glass because I almost messed up. Let me call in right now.
There is my main man, Mark Hall, saving the day, right on time. My brother from another mother. My light-skinned twin.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, James Campbell saved by our sports segment. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who he is. He is the #1 authority in everything dealing with the Dallas Cowboys American team. Please follow him on his YouTube channel. Come follow him on Facebook. All you got to do is Google CowboyJobu. All his information pops up. So, rookie camp's over. Last time we heard from the man himself. What's going on, Mark?
Well, before I get to the Dallas Cowboys, I want to dedicate tonight's show to some family, friends of ours, the Pearson family. Unfortunately, her daughter was taken away tragically coming away from a club down in Richmond. Senseless violence. And it's just tragic. And my hearts and hats and everything else go out to the family. I'm just wondering, though, man, when is this crazy stuff going to end, man?
What, you talking about the violence?
The violence, man.
Man, I don't know, man. They just said something. This three kids have gotten shot at Ski High School in 6 weeks.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was an argument at a club that had nothing to do with her. They were leaving the club. 3 people said, hey, jumped in the car, said, man, roll, roll, roll. They got up on Interstate 95. This other car follows along. She starts firing into the car. Shot her, killed the 2 girls. Another guy's fighting for his life in the hospital right now. And I don't care what happens in the club or whatever disagreement. Now you got all these lives that are now ruined.
Well, we got to do something, man. It's not going to have a next generation to turn to.
Amen. And that's where I always say, you know, I'm old. I'm actually proud that I am still this old, and I'm thankful that I'm still here. But on to the Dallas Cowboys. Like you said, rookie training camp is over. The veterans are there today. Everybody's out on the field, and I couldn't be happier for the fact that Des Bryant is there healthy. We're not waiting for Tony Romo to heal up from a broken collarbone or a bad back. We have got Des Bryant and Dak Prescott working together right now, and I believe that is going to be a beast combination next season.
Well, we can only hope so. We're looking forward to it.
Well, I feel really good about where this team is. Everybody is there. Everybody is hungry, and everybody is fighting for a spot. And that's what you want. You want guys that show up and know, I got to practice my ass off or else I'm not getting on the field. You don't want a guy like Orlando McClain who ends up knowing that I'm here, I'm going to play. I don't have to practice today. I don't have to get myself better because I don't have to worry about it. You want guys that think that I got to go out here and practice and earn a spot to make the team, or else I'm going to be gone.
So out of the rookie camp, which rookie impressed you the most?
Well, so far, the great things you've been hearing is from Brian Switzer. Brian Switzer, you know, he's another small slot receiver, but this cat had 5 punt returns for touchdowns, which tied the NCAA record, which is still tied at 5. He has got really good moves. He's small, he's quick, and he's able to reach back behind him, catch the ball at full stride and not miss a beat. So far, he's been looking really good. We're looking like we're going to have Jordan Lewis will probably be a starter. Awuzie will definitely be a starter, probably on the defensive stuff. But it's still early to tell. I mean, it's only OTAs. You're in T-shirts and shorts and stuff like that. You're not really putting the pads on. So we got a long way to go.
All right, so I was asking you about the linebacking and like the fact that, you know, that's my big linebackers and cornerbacks.
Yeah.
But Jobu is saying if we want to market in free agency, we can do that again.
Well, remember what I told you, because when everybody kept saying, you know, let's keep Tony Romo as a backup, you know, and I said you can't afford to take that $24 million cap hit. Here's what's going to happen is free agency 2.0, or bargain basement time, as I like to call it. Because right now, you got coaches in here that are evaluating all these players. You basically got 100 players out there. You're not keeping all of them. And you're going to start looking at some of these veterans saying, you know what, we're paying that guy $10 million a year. We got a rookie over here that, you know, he's only getting $2 million, and he's younger and quicker. We can do away with this guy. So you're going to start seeing a lot of really good name veterans that still have some stuff in the tank that you're going to be able to sign and do something with. So don't think that this is everybody that's going to be our team right now. I look for after June 1st, you'll start seeing us sign some other guys.
All right, so do you think we need to go after? I mean, I'm still iffy. The cornerback situation. You told me not to worry about it.
I'm not worried about the cornerback situation. If we can find,
what about the linebacker?
The linebackers, well, it all depends on what we get with Jalen Smith, and we can look at that and evaluate that as we go through the springtime here. Like I said, you still have plenty of time to find guys, but you're not going to find a premier talent at this point.
Right. Okay.
So don't panic. The key is what I've been telling you for years, is that defensive line, that pass rush. Because with that pass rush, if you can develop a pass rush, you can get away with so-so linebackers and so-so cornerbacks, because that quarterback is not having the time to throw the ball, and they're not having the rush lanes for the running game. That is the key for this Dallas Cowboys defense.
All right, Mark. Well, tell folks.
Well, definitely, I launched my new website actually this weekend, CowboyJobu.com. And I'm still working with it and tweaking it and things like that. But the response so far has been fantastic. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. We're going to have pictures of fans on there. We've got Jobu shot glasses that are actually for sale on there as well now. And those are going to be going all over the place. Unfortunately, I'm going to be making a lot of alcoholics out there. So Cowboy Jobu, and the good thing about it is everything I do is all Cowboy Jobu, be it Instagram, Twitter, and of course every Monday night I'm right here on the on the Benet Emery Show. I'm used to saying Jobu Sports Report because it's always on my YouTube channel, because we're doing this 2-3 times videos a day. So any news you want to know about the Dallas Cowboys, you'll get my spin on it. Follow me on YouTube.
Subscribe to his YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. There's now one question. Just answer either straight or shy away. Any subject. Appreciate you, Mark.
Thank you, man. I'll see you next Monday, and we'll definitely have some more news after the mini camp this week.
All right, my man.
All right, see you next week. Thank you guys, man, for the donations and stuff. And like I was saying there on the next show, is I'm old, and I actually think of that and feel proud, because I have a lot of friends and stuff that aren't here anymore with me, and a lot of it is just senseless violence. And I'm sorry, there's not much I can think of that's worth dying for or to kill over, because you're not winning the argument. If anything, you're making it worse. You're screwing up your life as well. So hats off to the Pearson family. 26 years old is just too young to be doing. And a parent should never bury their child. So sorry if I get a little emotional here. Like I said, it's just a sad world out there. But all of you guys who have donated to the Jobu jar, I may have to get a bigger jar for the Jobu Man Cave, because you guys are doing it up. Let me get back to some more of our questions before we end this up for tonight. How about them Cowboys? You know, I feel great about those Cowboys, Albert. I can't wait for the season to get here. I think we got 16 more Sundays before the season starts, and I can't wait for it to get here. Well, Jack, it's a 2-hour show, and they've got political talk, they've got fashion talk and everything else. They have a guest that'll come in and stuff. And when I started it, it's funny because I've been doing it for about 3 years now. When I first started being on there, they didn't actually have a sports section. So we just kind of go in 5 minutes, 7 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes when there's a whole lot going on. And that's where it is. The station actually wants me to have my own separate show, doing more and more stuff with sports. I think I kind of like just doing it just like we do right here on YouTube. I'm good with it just like this, because, you know, I've got all my fans that I can go ahead, get all these interactions and stuff with you guys. This is enough for me. Thank you, Sarah. Idiots with guns, there's too many of them. It really is. And, you know, in my day, you know, we didn't have guns. You might have a knife, or you might have a club. You know, you might come home bloodied and beat up, but you always came home. Not anymore. Sorry you're late, Kevin. Were you watching the Wizards game? How you feel about, let's see. You know what? On the black shirt T-shirts, I actually think, no, that's not what I actually think I'm going to go back to the black sheets, because everybody keeps doubting the Dallas Cowboys. Instead of it being just the defense, it needs to be the whole team, because everybody is doubting the Dallas Cowboys, and they're just waiting for them to fail. So they are truly the underdog, who I think need to have the chip on the shoulder. I agree with you, Albert. Stop the violence. Whatever happened to Scott? I'm sorry, Scott who? Sorry, didn't get that part. Let's see. Thank you for giving Drew Pearson a career in the NFL. That was Curtis. I'm sorry, I kind of lost focus there. Curtis, that was incredible. Drew Pearson literally screwed up the Philadelphia Eagles, and I got to tell you, it was incredible being there in that moment. I've been truly blessed to have been and done some really, really cool things, and that's going to be one of those things that I think I will take to my grave. Being right there with him 20 feet away, Eagles fans basically saying F you, and him having no fear whatsoever about giving it back to those Eagle fans. And I touched on this before, but I got to tell you, it's going to be hard for Dallas to top we had in Philadelphia, point blank. And it's not about hate or anything. I got to tell you, that was an incredible experience. I mean, to be able to walk around and everything is wide open. It was free. And I guess they had to make it free with all the Eagle fans out there for their broke asses. But to be able to walk around and you've got all this stuff that's going on and you're right there, the stage is right there. Even if you don't have a ticket to be at the stage, you're still only about 100 feet, 150 feet away from the stage, watching it. And having this crowd, this sea of people that are all there, all together, all football fans, that with the hopes and the dreams of their team having the guy drafted was just an incredible feeling. And I just don't know how Dallas is going to be able to replicate that. They could put it in AT&T Stadium, but it won't be the same because you got all these seats and stuff. It's not going to be able to where you can walk up and get close to the stage and the cameras. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, to have that giant screen TV and see your guy walking across the stage, it'll be nice, but it won't get that hands-on feel where you've got that stage right there, and then you have all those people who can walk around, grab a beer, and, you know, converse with everybody. You don't want to be sitting down during that. You want to be up there chanting, rooting for your team, talking trash to people, and going around and seeing other people. That was the coolest thing for me in that whole experience was by being able to walk around, meeting some of you guys who are also just walking around. If I'm sitting in a seat in AT&T Stadium, it's going to be hard to get that feel, if you know what I mean. But we'll see what happens. You know, Jerry Jones may come up with something that's just completely incredible. You never know. Well, they've actually, my son Michael, who everybody thinks just hates to be on air and just thinks that he's just always mad. He's just shy and doesn't want to on there. He was pointing out that they've got the Star and they also have AT&T, and basically are saying they can use both. But the problem is they're about 50-minute ride from each other, so you really need to use one or the other. And the inside of the Star, I think, seats 15,000, 13,000, something like that. So I'm not sure how they'll work that. I think they'd be better off if they did something with the Texas Rangers Stadium and AT&T and made it like an outdoor event, because there is a lot of space that is around there, and you've got those jumbotrons on the outside of the stadium. Maybe what they do is they take that back side where you've got those sliding doors, you make that the stage, and you have the parking lot and everything else that's all around there become the area. So, but who knows? Jerry Jones, I'm sure, has got some kind of thing, because you know Jerry Jones won't want to be outmatched by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I want to thank everybody who ended up doing the super chat. I want to thank everybody who showed up tonight. The numbers every week are getting bigger and bigger. I appreciate that. Do check out CowboyJobu.com, my website. Haven't had a chance to do a whole lot of blogs or anything on there, but I'll probably start going back to writing again like I used to, or at least pull some of my old blogs, some of the interesting ones from my old website to that. And if you guys are interested in the shot glasses, that link is on there too below the Facebook. So please go ahead and hit that up. Check out the site. I'm rather proud of it because I'm technology challenged, and I never thought I could build a website. And it's 10 o'clock. Time just seems to fly by. way too fast. But we will be here Friday night, live streaming to you guys. And you know I will be putting out videos on a daily basis, sometimes 2, 3, 4, if there's enough news here. And I can't thank you guys enough because we're about to hit 9,000. And any of you guys who have been here for the last year or more, you know we have come a long way. And I can't thank you guys enough. So be safe out there. Think before you get into something because it only takes a second to change a life. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu, and keep spreading the mojo. Oh, I was supposed to already have the link up here to cut off after that point because, you know, hey.